This is the Eastern Shore High School Football Preview Show.
Another week of high school football on the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week here on UTV 44. And wow, do we have the Game of the Week. Spanish Fort and Saraland tonight here on UTV 44. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox, my partner Dan Brennan. We're here at Eastern Shore Toyota, and we can't wait for this one to get started. We are our second trip to Saraland already this season, and we are excited.
Well, you know, when you have a matchup of the #2 team in the state, #3 team in the state, they know each other very well. These programs have been compared with each other, you know, and it makes a lot of sense too, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be getting after it tonight for sure.
Let's look back last week. We had Baker coming up against McGill. We were excited to see McGill. We'd heard some people saying, you know, how well McGill was really playing, really coming together. Caleb Ross, second year, really getting that team going in the right direction. We knew Baker was going to be without Trey McMillan, a huge loss. But wow, the Yellow Jackets, they brought it Friday night.
They sure did. A 35-0 win over a Baker team that was a great playoff team a year ago. So, you know, they're missing some pieces. They're missing some linemen, and they're just not the same team.
No.
But McGill-Tulane, you talk about they're not the same team. They're not the same team from a year ago. Caleb Ross was given that team under circumstances where head coach leaves. Suddenly he's got control of the team, starts looking over the roster and thinking, you know what, we're pretty young. They were young, but boy, they've grown up in 1 year's time. And now definitely one of the top 7A programs. Looks like they may have one of the better records in the state when it's all said and done.
You know, and I thought it was very telling before the game when you had met earlier in the week with Danny Smith last week, and he had talked about just what he saw getting ready for the McGill team. What he saw in the previous weeks is what we saw Friday.
It was exactly what we saw. And I'd never heard a coach speak so glowingly about his opponent that night. But knowing Danny like we have, he's always been a real straight shooter. So it was like, I'm going to take this to the bank, right? So we talk about it, and then from the opening kick, that's what we saw was a very efficient, talented, not big, but a very efficient and a very well-coached McGill-Tulane football team that does everything and all the little things you need to do to win a game.
All right, and we'll see more McGill-Blunt coming up in a couple of weeks here on UTV 44.
How about that?
That is going to be a game we can't wait to see as well. But we're here at Eastern Shore Toyota and Spanish Fort with lots of folks here. Reason why they know the drill while we're here before the game.
Yeah, they may walk away at the end of the year with $12,000 because that's the top prize. There you see how the money's divided. It starts out at #1 in terms of participation here at the pregame. 12 grand. Isn't that great?
Yep.
A couple of schools after that will each get $4,000. I'm sorry, $4,000 #2, and then at the bottom you got 3rd and 4th place.
Well, when the matching Brennan grant kicks in.
Well, there is that. And that's supposed to do that in 2032. But in any event, that's what it's all about, showing the spirit here at Eastern Shore Toyota. This pregame show, by the way, is taped on Wednesday nights. And then, of course, we think it's a great lead-in because now you get a chance to know more about the players, the coaches, sit back and then watch a great game that's coming up at 7 o'clock.
And I think the one thing that you've always loved about this show is we get to talk to the coaches, we preview the game, no doubt, but you see the kids without the helmet on. And you, because I think we forget, all of us watching the game, as big as it gets, we forget these are 15, 16, 17-year-old kids out there.
Yeah, they are. And even the ones, we only have one guest from each team as far as a guest player on the screenshot with us, but we get a chance to talk to so many of these young guys as they get ready for the game. So, yeah, it's a big, exciting night for us. And get ready for some great football when we're done.
All right, Ben Blackman, head coach of the Spanish Fort Toros, will join us. He's been on once before. We had a Spanish Fort Gulf Shores when he was down at Gulf Shores. So his second appearance here on the pregame show. And we'll do that coming up next here from Eastern Shore Toyota as we get ready for the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Back here at Eastern Shore Toyota, Jim Cox and Dan Brennan as we get ready for the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week here on UTV 44. We've got Coach Ben Blackman from the Toros with us, and so good to see Tyler Johnston back with us. He was injured in a game we were doing on TV last year, back 100%. We'll get to that in a second. You know, one thing...
you know, he could have beaten teams on crutches. He just didn't want to show off.
One thing, you know, we get some really unique experiences, you and I, before the game. Remember the game a couple of years ago when we met Mr. Blackman Sr. Met the dad.
Yes, yeah.
Met the
Playoff
dad.
game.
And was telling
Atlanta.
stories about the two boys growing up.
Yeah, he was, and I was saying to your poor mom, I said, you have just spent your life sitting in bleachers, and she said, you have nailed it, Mr. Brennan. And that's what parents do, right?
That's right.
Great pair of folks that raised you. I guess that means a lot to you.
Yeah, very fortunate that my parents, you know, were able to be there for most of my life and come and visit and watch us play, watch us coach, and you know now they're spread out all over the state. So, but it's a blessing anytime.
It's got to be gratifying.
They were down last week.
Yeah.
So they'll probably be in Opelika this week.
I got it.
A
little closer.
You're up at Greenville at Gulf Shores. Now you're here at Spanish Fort, and I mean, coming into a situation, obviously exciting times here in Spanish Fort, and well, you've got some talented players starting with your QB right now.
Yeah, we're very blessed. We got talented players, but we got great kids. You know, our kids got strong work ethics. They know what makes them successful by their work and their habits, and they're passionate about it. You know, and every day they come to practice, they come to workouts, you know, with an edge to try to get better every day. And so we're very, very fortunate.
You know, when coaches come in, and I remember when you took the job down at Gulf Shores, and young coach, you got to put your own stamp on it. That's how people have to do it. What did you come into a situation at Spanish Fort? There wasn't a whole. It wasn't a jalopy. It wasn't broke down. What did you do to put your stamp on it that was any different?
Well, you know, I just try to be who I am. You know, I'm just trying to be myself, and you know, I believe that you know, if we do what we believe in, then we'll be successful. And tried to just rally the kids, and you know, they've bought into us and our coaching staff and what we try to do. You know, just try to. You know, I'm being Blackman. I'm not Mark Freeman. You know, and so there are going to be things that are different, a lot of things that are alike. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm in this business for kids, and you know, that's my passion. That's why I'm in this business, coaching football, coach kids, change lives, and build character and good young men, and do it through the great game of football that God's blessed us.
So far, so good.
Yes. Tyler Johnston, quarterback, and again, we're so excited to see you out there. I know, and talk about, you know, obviously a painful injury, you blow out your knee, but just you got so few high school games as you're a player. I would have to think that was the worst part for you, is just knowing you have to miss those games.
Yeah, it was bad. I went down. I prayed and got shot to get better and everything. Had a great surgeon and do my surgery and everything. And I mean, I got back out there and started supporting my boys, and that's all I could do, and I did as much as I could. And I mean, they had a great year. Javon Brown, he great athlete. He came in there and had a heck of a year. And I mean, we came back down, lost in the semifinals by Saraland. And I mean, we've just been working hard this summer to get back.
What's the difference in Tyler Johnston? You coached against him, you prepared to try and stop him, you knew of him, he was an opponent of yours. Now that you've gotten to know the young man, what did you find out about him that maybe you didn't quite know?
Well, that he's, you know, he's a special kid. He's fun to coach. You know, you don't know kids you coach against until you actually get to coach them and build those relationships with. And I treat all of my kids like my sons, but you know, we've built a relationship, and you know, I trust him and treat him just like my little 7-year-old son. You know, and
that's how you treat me.
But the 7-year-old's better behaved.
It's the relationship that we've been able to build since I've came in, and you know, I trust him. I trust him with you know, anything, and he's just such a great character kid. And then to throw on top of it, he's pretty talented.
I've noticed. We've noticed.
Yeah, Tyler, I mean, you've had so much success at Spanish Fort, and so many of your teammates have been together playing as sophomores, juniors, seniors. Talk about the bond you have with this group of Toros right now.
Right now, we have some older guys right now that has been playing on the field and has won a state championship ring. That's all playing on the field right now, and we're all good friends. I mean, we work hard on the field and off the field, but we get mad at each other on the field, we're back with friends right off the field. And it just feels great being there, and it's a good place to be at.
Got a heck of an opponent. Tell us quickly what you see when you look at Saraland as you get ready for the game tonight.
Well, I see a tough team that's disciplined, well coached. They're going to play for 4 quarters. They're going to fight and claw, and they got great players. They got really good wide receivers, good quarterback, running back. The defense is savvy. They get around. They fly to the ball. They do some good job on defense disguising what they try to do. So it should be a fun contest.
There's a reason it's the game of the week, and we're excited to have it here
yes.
on UTV 44. Ben Blackman, we'll see him back at the last segment. Tyler, it's so good to see you back. I can't wait to see him back out on the field. When we come back, we'll look at the Saraland side of things tonight. Saraland and Spanish Fort and the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers game of the week here on UTV 44. Game of the week here on UTV 44, Saraland and Spanish Fort tonight, and we heard the Spanish Fort side of things. Getting ready to talk Saraland. Head coach Jeff Kelly and a budding bromance that started just a few weeks ago before the game. While we were watching the punter warm up before the game, and Zach Everett here. We'll talk with Zach in just a couple of minutes.
We went over to Jeff right away and said, is your punter 27 years old? How in the world does he kick it like that? But anyhow, we'll talk more about that.
He was booming from like 70 in pregame.
It was just a freak show.
Coach, all right, off to a great start, and I know you prepare one game at a time. It's a one-week season, but there's no doubt the kids on both sides, they've known where this one's been on the schedule since the summer.
Yeah, I think as a staff, you want to talk to your kids about approaching each and every week the same way, but you come in Monday, you lay out game plans, that kind of stuff. You don't have to tell the kids a whole lot. They understand, what's coming. They understand, the importance of this game that's developed over the last several years. We're excited about it. We're excited about having it at our place.
First time ever. Yeah.
First time ever. We've been over there 3 times. So we're excited to be playing at home as always. And, a top-notch opponent, Spanish Fort coming in. They're very talented, very well coached. It's going to be a tremendous football game.
I would run into Jeff from time to time, here and there, and back when the program was young, I said, I swear, Coach, we're going to get there. We're going to get you on. And you were saying to me, well, Dan, we're going to get there too. Our program's going to get to that point. And then when it happened, it just happened with an explosion.
Right.
And suddenly the beautiful stadium and the fan support, and like a Disney movie, out of nowhere comes this school and this program that has quickly got everybody's attention statewide.
Well, statewide, I think so. The last couple of years, we've been successful. We've been fortunate. We've had some good things happen, but locally, within our town, it is unbelievable. Our fans are, when we go on the road, they're there. And a lot of times they beat the buses there. They're pumped up. They're excited. They've been behind us every step of the way. And, 6 or 8 years ago, they stepped out on a limb and voted to form their own school system. And they, part of the things they were voting for was voting for Friday Night Lights, in a small town community. That's what high school sports are all about. And I'm happy for our kids, our players, that they get a chance to experience that each and every home game, to play in front of the atmosphere and the fans. It's a lot of fun to coach in.
And we're probably as guilty of this as anybody else. When we're watching a game and doing the broadcast, you lock in on the kid who's going to SC or the kid who's going to Bama, and we forget, I think, sometimes that Friday nights they're more for all the other kids than they are the kids who are going there, because there's just, that's what they do.
What you're going to see tonight is you're going to see 2 outstanding programs, and they've got, the high-profile guys on either team, but that's not what high school football is all about. It's about those guys that come out there and prepare and fight and scratch for their community, for their town. I think, with Saraland and Spanish Fort, there's a tremendous amount of respect, both with both programs and both cities. And, I think that's one of the reasons why this thing has sort of become whatever it is. I think there's a tremendous amount of respect there between both towns.
A game like this, special teams game could come down to special teams.
Yeah.
Field position, flipping the field.
Absolutely.
We've got a young man, Zach Everett, punter, who can do that.
Zach has been doing that for us for 4 years. Anytime you play a really good team, 2 good defenses, field position is huge. He's got a great knack of not only coming up with a big punt at the right time, but also being able to place that kick in the right place, or pinning those guys down, backing them up close. And he's been a tremendous weapon, one of the best football players. He's a great athlete, and I probably don't let him do as much as he probably could do. Tremendous athlete, could probably play some other positions, but he's an outstanding young man, and he's a dang good punter.
And our apologies, Coach, because he's getting ready for the Daphne game,
Hey.
and we're distracting him.
We're like getting ready to play. Exactly. We're all getting ready. And both these guys right here, they're talking about you. So that was the first.
Yeah, we were talking to him.
Absolutely.
But anyway, we're so happy that you could be on our show today. You said that you never did kick until around the middle school, and you were a tight end. You played football, and suddenly, what changed?
I just always grown up just kicking it around with my friends. I was ball boy for my dad's schools wherever he coached. I'd go out before the games, just joke around kicking it. And then it turned out my middle school coach was a kicker in college, and he just started working with me. And now I am where I am.
And so you remember when Coxie and I came over to you and actually started disturbing you? He's like, I'm doing my work here. You immature announcers. But we were so amazed.
Oh, we were just watching.
Yeah.
Okay, so a punter. So and coach isn't listening. So, but are you ever secretly like, if maybe the game's a little on it, are you ever hoping maybe they get stopped on 3rd and short so you can come on kick the ball?
Sometimes. Most of the time I want him to get the first down though.
Oh, well, we're excited. It's going to be a great matchup. Okay, so we were there a couple weeks ago. The atmosphere, everything it was built up to be for the Daphne game, it's going to be even more so tonight, isn't it?
You know, I don't know if our community or any community is ready for what tonight will be like. It's going to be tremendous. I think both communities have been looking forward and circling this game on the schedule for a long time. You know, every time we played, it's been competitive, and every time we played, it's meant something. And it's a fun deal, and I'm excited for our kids tonight. And now we're about to go to work, and time to put all the talking behind us and get out there and go play football.
I'll tell you what, Jim, you spend an hour with this guy in his office, you're ready to hit the field. And he does just a great job overseeing every aspect of the program. It's really, really impressive.
All right, Zach, good to meet you officially and not bothering you on the field. And Coach, we'll see you here in the last segment. When we come back, we'll have Coach Blackman here. We'll talk more about the matchup between Spanish Fort and Saraland tonight on the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week on UTV 44. Eastern Shore Toyota as we get ready, about 10 minutes away from the kickoff on the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week here on UTV 44, Spanish Fort and Saraland. And two great stories with the programs. We've talked about kind of the similarities. I know for the last, probably for about 8 months every day, twice a day, I drove by a billboard that said, "Welcome, Coach Blackman and family to Spanish Fort," right there on 31.
He's been poking me like that all day.
That's good.
So we I drove by that. So, but
Hey, good news, the sign's still up.
that's right. You know, but isn't it great? We talk about being in a part of, we're the only ones in the state that do high school football live every Friday night. It's, you know, we've been doing it for 107 years down here. It's a long time, but we're the only ones that do it. And we always say we're lucky to be in a place that cares that much about high school football. And you both have to feel the same way, to be in a community that cares that much about football and the school.
Well, I think that's what makes both communities great, is the passion, not just football. I think it's the passion in both communities to be successful at whatever our kids do. You know, it drives them. And, you know, that's what makes these communities so great. And
Your kid's passionate, too, because Ben's little guy over here just got a taunting. He was just sent out of the crowd.
that's probably true.
You talked about it earlier, and Dan mentioned just how at Saraland, just all of a sudden it was like, you know, they stepped out, formed their own school system, and here we go. And now, but isn't that exactly where you want to be as a coach? A situation like that?
I think you want to be, number one, a place where it matters, where it's important not only to the kids, but to everybody. It needs to matter to the administration, the community, the city. You know, being successful and doing things the right way needs to be important. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be a part of, you know, everything going on in Saraland, because whether we're talking football, like Coach said, whether we're talking football or academics or, you know, extracurriculars, whatever it is, you know, it's important. It's important to do things the right way and be successful.
All right, it's important to get to these questions as well, said no one ever. Let's see, can you comfortably eat in a restaurant by yourself?
Yes.
Depends on where it is.
Can you go sit by yourself and eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Maybe a seat at the bar.
All right.
I'm just saying.
What did you like best about your hometown?
Dirt roads.
Friendships.
All right. How about you?
Not a full leaping line.
My best part was leaving.
They thought so too.
Yeah, exactly. Ever made a trip to the garbage dump?
Yes.
Ever made a trip to the garbage dump?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, okay, just wondered. All right.
But taking, not receiving.
If you were an Olympic athlete, what sport would you compete in?
Bobsledding.
Bobsledding. Herschel.
Where you shoot the guns, rifle, what's it
Skeet
called?
shooting?
Yeah.
Like skeet shooting?
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, well, you can skip.
Okay. Let's see. Live around a noisy neighbor or a nosy neighbor?
Nosy neighbor.
Nosy, likes it quiet.
Noisy.
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 I want no dang neighbors. I want none. Let's see. Go golfing or go fishing?
That's easy. Fishing.
I thought you looked like my kind of guy.
Golfing.
Golf.
I love to fish with you.
Yeah, that happened one time, and I had to go to the emergency room afterwards.
True story.
If you were a Miss America talent competition, what would your talent be?
That's a good one, Coach.
That's pretty good. Monologue.
The monologue, okay.
Dancing.
Dancing. Oh, I think we heard that last time. He's a good dancer.
Again,
How about
nothing to be said.
How about you? All right, lastly, and bulls, not toros, but be chased by angry bulls or hungry sharks?
Bulls.
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 Bulls. How about you? Bulls?
Yeah.
I saw a